Hello everyone, this is Kona, and thank you for tuning in to another video. So Sombra is finally out and we can actually play here in the PTR, and I'd like to give some of my thoughts about, I guess, Blizzard's take on the spy kind of hero. I mean, she has a lot of things that are similar to the spy, but she does it in her own way, which is kind of nice. And in this video, I just want to talk about just that general idea of this kind of spy and sneakiness about Sombra. And then later on in other videos, I want to talk about like hacking health packs and also silencing. I think that's going to be huge. So Sombra is Overwatch's first character with invisibility, and I know this is kind of a weird subject because people were concerned about this because Overwatch drew a lot of inspiration from TF2. Everyone was wondering, is there going to be a spy? Is there going to be a spy? Because spy in TF2 is a very, very powerful class. It can be a very annoying class to deal with, and maybe sometimes that's one of the reasons why people hate TF2 is because of the spy. He's just so unique and so different. So Sombra's two abilities, her invisibility, which makes her invisible and gives her a speed boost for 6 seconds, and her translocator, which is like a grenade you can toss and then teleport to it. Both of these abilities are based around movement, and also there's the fact that she only has a machine pistol as her primary, so she has a very limited range. So based on this alone, you can kind of tell that she's going to play out as a flanker. And so I think the general strategy with her is to, put a translocator grenade somewhere on your side of the map, somewhere safe, use invisibility to go around the enemy, or just, you can go through them, but I wouldn't try to go through them because there's so much spam in this game. Try to go around them, harass them a little bit, and then whenever you feel unsafe, you just teleport back. And that's almost the same strategy as the spy from TF2. Now, I know it's not exactly the same because he doesn't have a teleport grenade, but he does have a get out of jail free card, the Dead Ringer. I know there's a lot of spies out there who play Dead Ringer who just get the backstab, activate the Dead Ringer, you're out of there pretty safely, and you just kind of rinse and repeat that whole process, and you can go the entire match without dying. And I can kind of see Sombra doing sort of the same thing, where she just keeps on rinsing and repeating the same process of using her teleport grenade to get out. And I found that the translocator grenade is really good for getting out of sticky situations, a lot better than invisibility, because like I said before, there's so much spam in this game. If you get hit while someone sees you going invisible, it will cancel your invisibility, and you're kind of screwed there, right? So invisibility, I think, is really good for getting in, and then using your translocator for actually getting out. Now, I know some people will find this very annoying to fight against because it's like, oh, he almost killed the Sombra, and then she's out of there and she's safe. And it's like, oh, so close, right? But hopefully it won't be that bad or that infuriating because Sombra is not really... She can't insta-kill, right? She's labeled as a DPS, she's an offensive hero, she's a flanker of sorts, and she has a lot of CC. But she does not have an insta-kill like the spy, so I think one of the reasons why the spy is so annoying is because he can do that rinse and repeat thing, almost go the entire game without dying, and get insta-kills from the back. Now, I do want to mention her passive ability, which is being able to see enemies through walls that are low on health, and this is very useful for a flanker because flankers are very good at securing kills. At the same time, I can see some Sombras getting a little bit greedy with this and maybe overextending. I mean, if you see someone who's low on health through a wall, your first instinct is to try and finish them off. But if you don't know the full situation, I mean, you might get baited into turning the corner and all of a sudden you're outnumbered. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how Sombras deal with seeing through walls. So I think one thing that people are going to have to do more in Overwatch now since Sombra is going to be released is looking behind them. Now, if you've been playing TF2 for a while, this is nothing really new. I mean, there's spy checking. Oh boy, spy checking. There's going to be Sombra checking in this game now. But anyway, in TF2, the spy is just part of the game, and as you play that game more, you start to build habits that counter the spy. One of them being just checking behind you, just looking behind you. And at first it can seem like you're checking behind you at random times, like every few seconds or so. But as you play the game more and more, you start to understand the rhythm of the spy and when he wants to actually come in. You can almost sense when he wants to come in for a kill. Let's say he activates a Dead Ringer and you see that. You know that he won't be a problem for a few seconds, so you can almost ignore the spy. And sometimes this is a good strategy where you can bait the spy into decloaking by looking like you forgot about him. Now, Sombra might have this property as well. I mean, you know her cooldowns, you know her general strategy of throwing down a grenade and trying to sneak behind. So, because of this, you can develop a rhythm of knowing when Sombras want to go in. So once in a while, you can just check behind you, and maybe if you check at the right times, you can catch her and get a pick off on her. Now, I think looking behind you randomly is still, at least looking behind you at times when it's safe to look behind you, is still an effective way to maybe make sure that a Sombra does not decloak and try to set up for like an EMP or something like that. Now, there are other flankers like Tracer, Genji, and Reaper who try to flank from behind as well, but usually they have some sort of cue, some sort of audio cue or something that lets you know that they're there. Like if Tracer blinks, then you know she's there. If a Genji is behind you and starts poking shurikens just to gain some ult, you know he's there. And if a Reaper is trying to teleport into position, then you can hopefully hear that and then counter him. With Sombra, I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. I'm not sure if you can hear her footsteps while she's invisible. So if she's trying to go in and set up for a play, you might not really know if it's coming unless you sort of have that Sombra spidey sense of like, oh, you know, I think the Sombra wants to use her ult and set up for a big play. We better get ready for her. I think this could make Sombra into a flanker/initiator, which is an interesting combo because if you look at all of the other flankers, they don't really initiate. They try to use the chaos of team fights to get in some damage. You might consider Reaper an initiator, but usually that's only when he's nano boosted. And in that case, I think it's the nano boost that's doing most of the initiation rather than the Reaper itself. You can just nano boost a Rhine, and that's initiation. So yeah, I think Sombra is a lot of fun to play because it combines flanking and initiation, and she's definitely a hero where you have to work together as a team. I mean, you can say that about every hero in Overwatch, but her in particular, I'm a little concerned that some people might think, oh, well, I'm invisible like the spy, I can sneak behind them, they don't see me, I'm gonna be, you know, get the most eliminations, it's gonna be awesome. But there's a very limited amount of things she can do by herself because she cannot insta-kill. So those are some of my thoughts on Sombra and invisibility in particular. I know I didn't talk too much about hacking, but I want to do that in another video. But what about you? What do you think about Sombra and invisibility? Did Blizzard handle their first invisible hero in Overwatch fairly? You know, the fact that she can't insta-kill? And what do you think about her general role on the team? Let me know in the comments below. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.